What's going on, guys? Back at it with another YouTube video. Didn't end up live trading this morning because I felt lazy and wanted to trade in bed instead. But yeah, we ended up taking two trades. Took an L on the first one, and then as you can see, obviously we took a massive W on the second. Holy shit, price is fucking sending right now. But ended up going 1 for 1 today. Lost about, I believe, 1.4K on the first trade, which I only took on my top step accounts, and then on the second trade we ended up making about, I think, a little bit over 7K. You can see here, 389 realized profit across four of these top steps, 1487 across two Apex. You can see my buys and sells, and then on my actual live Ninja Trader account, ended up making about 1.1K. You can see my buys and sells. This ain't LARP, but yeah, I mean, pretty solid day. I made about a bit over 5.6K. So let's get right into the breakdown. So coming in this morning, I had a pretty strong bullish bias considering obviously we're in an uptrend. Bullish on all the time frames that I'm looking at. The 1 hour was bullish, the 4 hour was bullish, as well as the daily time frame. I do think we're going to continue to send higher on the higher time frames, but coming in, obviously, I had no reason to go for shorts. So let's get into what I saw. So on the 1 hour time frame, there were a ton of levels that price could react off of and send higher. So obviously, what did I see? Well, we had an hourly low within here, as well as another hourly low within here. I believe this was a 4 hour low. Yep, it was. Obviously didn't touch that, but these were the levels that I was looking at. So we had this 1 hour bullish fair value gap, as well as obviously another bullish fair value gap underneath. And at market open, let me just mark this out. I believe it was right over here. So market open 9:30, we immediately came into that 1 hour bullish fair value gap. And at the same time, this is a 1 hour equilibrium discount from this low to this high. Price came up, filled the discounted price range in the midpoint, and all I was looking for there were execution points to go long. You guys know that I normally trade liquidity sweeps, but because my bias was very strong, all the high time frames were bullish aligned. All I was looking for in this scenario was a retracement setup, so we got the 1 hour fair value gap getting filled, as well as a 1 hour equilibrium discount. All I'm looking for right now, let me remove this, are execution points on the 1 minute time frame. So let's see what ended up happening. Well, let me see. So this was before the fair value gap got filled, but price ended up coming down. I was looking for a break of structure. Didn't get the break until I believe it was this. Oh yeah, I'm tweaking. It was this candle right here. So this is a 1 minute high. This was right at market open. We broke structure to the upside on this green candle right over here. So we had a 1 hour fair value gap get filled. We had a 1 hour equilibrium discount, like I mentioned. And then this was a 1 minute break of structure to the upside. All I'm looking from here is either a fair value gap getting filled, an inverse of a fair value gap, an equilibrium discount with reaction. And you can see exactly right over here from this low to this high. Price came up, came back into the discount, and then I entered off of, believe it was this green bullish candle out of here. You guys might be wondering, why did I not enter off of this green candle over here? Well, that's because I want to see, when I trade mini equilibrium discounts, I want to see price close above the midpoint. So the midpoint is the 50% mark over here. This did not, yes, it closed bullish, but it did not close above the midpoint. So that's not strong enough. Same with this candle right over here. Closed bullish, but didn't close above the midpoint. And then finally on the third candle, we closed above the midpoint. We inversed this bearish fair value gap. So I went long over here. Stops underneath the low, targeting the highs. Obviously, as you guys can tell, ended up chopping around for a little bit before we got stopped out. And after I got stopped out, my bias was still bullish. Nothing changes because we're bullish on all the time frames. We're still playing within the 1 hour fair value gap. But on top of that, we've also entered this new zone, which is another 1 hour fair value gap. So when I saw price fall into that second range, that second fair value gap, all I'm looking for again are execution points to go long, okay? And I like how I played this trade out because this was very similar to the trade that I took on Tuesday, I believe, or maybe it was Wednesday, but I lost like a lot of money on that. And that was because I used really bad risk management. I sized in heavy on the first trade as well as the second trade, but because I felt like price could potentially fall even lower, I didn't like go ham on my sizing just because of what happened earlier this week. So, okay, so after we got stopped out, price obviously filled the new 1 hour fair value gap. By the way, this was also a sweep of 30-minute sell side liquidity right over here. We swept this 30-minute low, which was nice confluence to go along with that. And then on top of that, let's dive into our execution. So price filled the 1 hour gap. All I'm looking for here, same things. What ended up happening was we got a mini equilibrium discount within here. So from this low to this high, sorry if this shit looks messy. I think I chose like the wrong colors to mark this, but let me just change that to blue real quick. Okay, so from this low to this high, price came up, came into the discounted price range. As you can see, this was also a bullish 1 minute fair value gap within here. Price also filled that. So we got a 1 minute bullish fair value gap getting filled as well as a 1 minute equilibrium discount. All I'm looking from here is a 1 minute break of structure to the upside because we haven't gotten that yet. Because price obviously broke 1 minute structure to the downside, I want to see a 1 minute break of structure back to the upside. And we got that off of, I believe it was this candle right here. So this is a high, and we closed above that on this bullish green candle at, I believe it's 202. And then boom, that's where I went long, had my stops underneath the low, added positions on my other accounts as we started to reverse, because I knew that obviously whenever you see a break of structure to the upside, price always reverses just like barely immediately. So I added a few contracts on the way down, executed there, and I had 2 take profits. I had a TP1 at this 15-minute high, and then final TP at this, I think this was a 1 hour high. And yeah, I actually closed all my positions out at TP1 because I wasn't trying to sit here all day. I wanted to get on with my day, but yeah, TP2 ended up getting smacked. This shit's fucking sending. And yeah, overall really solid trade today. Really solid trades today. I'm not disappointed in the first trade because this was A+. And yeah, the second one was also A+. So yeah. But yeah, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Nice and easy, no need to complicate it. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.